If you are struggling to stick to your health and fat loss plan, whether that be your nutritional plan or your exercise plan, ultimately that is going to affect your progress. Why? Well, because you are struggling to adhere, meaning you are struggling to create consistency. So in this episode, I'm going to discuss 5 easy and realistic hacks that will help you stick to your fat loss plan. And the more you stick to your fat loss plan, the more consistency you create and the more results you get at the end of the day. On that note, welcome to this episode of the Mandy Meyer podcast. As per usual, this is the podcast where we chat all about your health and fat loss expedition. And when I say all about, I mean giving you tips and advice that you can use to get those much desired results. Before we get into today's episode, if you haven't seen on my social media yet, my book is now available for you to purchase. This is not just a self-help book when it comes to weight loss. Once you've purchased and read this book, it's really going to change your mindset, the way you look at weight loss, the way you look at getting healthy, why you're getting healthy. Writing this book took me to a very vulnerable space, totally out of my comfort zone, because I share some of my deepest and darkest secrets in it. Because at the end of the day, that is what led to my weight gain, and tackling some of those things is what really helped me to make those necessary changes to lose weight. I will leave a link in the description as to where you can purchase the book. To everyone that has already purchased a copy, I don't think you understand how much I appreciate it. Let's get into it. Here are 5 easy and realistic hacks that you can use that will help you adhere to your plan. Number 1, set minimum goals, not perfect goals. Because if you think about it, perfect goals are very unrealistic. They are very difficult to achieve. Whereas minimum goals seem easier to achieve. Why? Because they are easier to achieve. The moment you set minimum goals, again, they do need to be slightly challenging, but not so challenging that you overwhelm yourself into not doing them. Because when you don't do something, guess what that does? That screws up your plan and your consistency. And if you are aiming for perfect goals and you don't smash those perfect goals, the only thing that you are building is guilt. You are not building consistency. You are not building results because nothing is getting done. And that is why I say set minimum goals to start off with, so that you can actually start smashing those goals and start creating that all-important consistency. Number 2, don't rely on willpower. Rely on your environment. Your motivation and your willpower are going to come and go. It's going to come and go. Sort of like some of those Tinder dates. One day it's there, the next day it's non-existent. Gone. It ghosted you. Whereas if you set up your environment with the correct systems, you are prepping your space for success. And some of those systems that you need to start implementing so that you can rely on those instead of willpower are things like prepping your meals, things like keeping the temptation out of sight or out of house, things like putting your workout clothes where you can see them and where you are reminded of them, so that it makes it less easier to skip that workout. Those are the kind of systems that you want to look at incorporating into your environment. Number 3, eat before you are starving. I've seen too much of this nonsense where people skip meals. They wait until they're exceptionally ravenous and then they dive headfirst into the snack platter, the buffet, and everything else that goes with it. And then what happens? You overindulge and you overconsume calories. 3 meals per day is the way to go. And if you need to snack in between, that's 100% fine. But whatever you do, don't skip meals to the point that you become so ravenous that you then eat everything in front of you. Number 4, plan your fun foods. Don't fall into them. And what I mean by falling into them is many times a lot of you are so fully restrictive when it comes to your fun foods that before you know it, maybe after 2 weeks or 3 weeks of not having your favorite chocolate, all of a sudden when you look again, you're in the shopping aisle, you trip. Not really, you don't trip, but you look again, you're in that chocolate aisle and you are packing loads and loads of that specific chocolate into your trolley because now you've snapped. Because that all or nothing mindset has taken over and that spiral has begun. That's what I mean by don't fall into your fun foods. So, I had a chocolate, I never meant to, it just happened. No. Plan them, add them to your plan. Be intentional about having those fun foods. Number 5, anchor your habits, especially your new habits, around habits that are pre-existing habits. So it's pretty much the same as habit stacking. If you're struggling to stick to creating a new habit consistently, build that new habit onto a pre-existing habit. If I have things correctly here, you are brushing your teeth twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. That is a pre-existing habit. That is something you do on a daily basis without thinking about it. Now, if you are struggling to drink your water, add the drinking water habit to the brushing teeth habit. So every time before you brush your teeth, have a glass of water before or after you brush your teeth. Now, the secret to sticking to your fat loss plan is actually executing these 5 things. And of course, some other things, but to start off with, you can use these 5 things. Now, a big problem that I've seen is so many people like overcomplicating things. Like you'll literally sit there and make a list of 20,000 things that have to be done throughout the day when it comes to your health and fat loss. And before you know it, you are majoring in the minors, which can be quite detrimental to your health and fat loss progress and the results that you want. And when I say majoring in the minors, it could be something that you are overly fixated on the correct amount of micronutrients or macronutrients. Or you are overly fixated about the specific meal timing of your carbs or your meals. Or if I say something like plan your fun foods, you get fixated on the exact type of fun food that is allowed to, for the lack of better words, be consumed on a health and fat loss plan. Something like where I say set a minimum goal, you might then be overly focused on, well, what is the perfect minimum goal? No, set minimums, not perfect goals. It really does not have to be overly complicated. When I say number 1, set minimum goals and not perfect goals, it means exactly that. When I say number 2, don't rely on willpower, but rely on your environment, it just means set your environment up for success. And success can look very different for different people, meaning your systems of your environment will look very different. When I say number 3, eat before you are starving or ravenous, that's exactly what I mean. I don't mean, oh, you must eat at a specific time of the day before XYZ or whatever time. Listen to your body. It is as uncomplicated as that. And when I say number 4, plan your fun foods, don't fall into them, any fun foods. Plan them into your calorie controlled plan in moderation. And when you do have them, enjoy them because it's intentional. And when I say number 5, anchor your new habits onto a pre-existing habit, there are no specific habits here that are going to be the best or that are going to be optimal as anchor habits. You will need to figure out what works for you at the end of the day. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you like I usually do. Keep smiling, keep laughing, and keep being kind to one another. Much love, your friend who really doesn't want you to complicate things. Mandy.